today's deeper dive with the search is we're going to start with the search menu. And in some of our other previous classes, we really didn't go into any of the other items listed in the search menu here. So listings is pretty obvious, straightforward. You have all your designations, and we'll jump into that in a minute. But you also can jump right to a map search right from here. We're going to jump into the map search in a few minutes here. But you can also tour open houses here. And I want to go into here because these courses are basically generated partially on a lot of the calls that we get. And we do get a lot of calls on the open houses. So just looking at the screen, if you scroll down a little bit, you could designate between an open house and a broker tour, active or ending. So if you want to say, oh, last weekend, I know there was an open house, you just click ended. And then you can go in here and put the date, put a date range in there. Same thing with active. The system only shows open houses 7 days in advance. So if you have say, for instance, you have an open house and it's, you have a coming soon and it's, 10 days, the coming soon period's 10 days and you're putting an open house on that, day 11, it's not going to show up in the system, but you could come in here and search it. So if you search within, you can take the number of days and just put in there 11 days and find that open house, or you could put a date range in there. And you can look for the first, repeat, any live streams, anything that was canceled. So that's all right here in the search tour open house menu for you. You can also search a hot sheet. We're going to get into that a little bit later. This basically jumps you into a hot sheet that you made a priority hot sheet. You can search the MLS number right from here. You can also do that with the smart bar, but again, that's just another way to search. As you get comfortable and familiar with Connect, you'll see that Connect gives you multiple ways to do the same thing. You don't have to learn them all, memorize them all, whatever works faster and easier for you. So if using the smart bar works for you, great. If not, you can always search right from here. Multiple addresses. If you click in here, you can search multiple addresses. Right down here, after you put in your status, your information, you can put in the address and just click plus address and keep searching multiple addresses there. Also in here, you can do a company inventory. And of course, tax search jumps you right into Smart MLS Tax. So you can do a tax search, find the parcel ID, what type of dwelling it is, that kind of thing. We also have a class coming up on Smart Tax. I highly recommend that you jump into that. Very powerful tool to use, very easy to use, very user-friendly. And then continuing down here, you can search for members and offices as well as teams. And again, you can search that with the smart bar, but if this works best for you, that's fantastic. You can choose that and go there. And that's pretty much the menu. We are going to jump into just a single family and search just for the remainder of our searching today. So I just picked single family and condo, and I'm just going to pick on single family. So I'm going to click off some designations, and I'm just going to put some basic information in here just to kind of give you an example. I'm going to put a range 600 to 800,000. I'm going to just play around with Fairfield County and the city of Fairfield. So this is a basic search right here for you. And one thing that we haven't covered in some of the other classes is, let's just say, this is the basic search. Everybody has their price range, rooms, and all that kind of information. But if you want more, you want to dig a little deeper, or maybe they don't want something. They're open to everything. But if you come down here to the lower left-hand side, show advanced options, there's a little button there. And if you click it, depending on what you have, that's going to activate different fields. For instance, city. So if we click on that, equals none. So let's just say they want Fairfield County, but they want every city in Fairfield County but Fairfield for whatever reason. You can click that. So you're going to get all the towns in Fairfield County except for Fairfield. I'm kind of playing around here. I'm sorry. So that activates that field for you. And again, depending on what you have, like style here, must have one or more of. You click in there, it gives you a whole designation of things. But one call that we get a lot on is must not have. If we click in there, I'm going to pick on mobile homes because we get a lot of calls for, I must not have a mobile home. I'll take a bungalow, A-frame, colonial, whatever it might be, but I'm not searching for, I don't want to search for a mobile home. So with that being said, that's the field right there, show advanced options. That'll give you, sorry, I'm playing with this here. That'll give you different options depending on the fields that you have, like property info is one. I'm sorry about that. There we go. And then here in Fairfield. So once you have your basic information, say this is your bread and butter, this is what you're searching for every day, or this is the very basic where your starting point. Instead of having to come in the system every time where you're coming back from a showing, you're starting the day or what have you, instead of having to go in here and put in this range or putting in Fairfield and all that, I'm sorry, that's annoying me over there. I'm sorry. Have to put this in every time you do a search. If this is the basics of the search, you can come right over here to the far right under defaults. And if you click on defaults, it'll be right under here. It says save current as my default, the little floppy disk here, save current as my default. And if you click that, this is going to save this basic information we just put in, that price range, 600 to 800 in Fairfield, no mobile homes, for your default search for single family and condo. And you can have a designation for every property. So you can have one for land, multifamily, residential rental. You can have that for all the properties. But this one, it also asks you make this your primary default search. So considering that I'm always doing single family and condo, I'm going to make this my primary search. You can only have one primary search though. So you can have multiple, all the properties can have a saved default search, but only one can be primary. And I'm going to show you how that comes into play. So let's just say we're out of the office. We come in the office today. We're ready to do our search. We just tap on search. We don't have to go to listings and slide over to single family. We just tap on it, and there we go. We got our Fairfield County, 600, 800, and we're excluding the mobile home. And again, now say the client B that I'm working with has a bedrooms requirement. I could just come right down here and add bedrooms, or maybe their range is a little wider. But we just wanted to show you that you have the basic information saved in here for you, so you don't have to keep recreating the wheel every time that you come in here and do a search. And speaking of recreating the wheel, if you look on the far right side here, and I'm going to scroll up a little bit, this gives you all your filters you apply. Let's shrink that down. This is your previous searches. So this is going to hold your 100 most recent searches. If you made a mistake, you're practicing, whatever you were looking at, it's going to hold it in here for you. And it's just a running total, so it'll just drop off. And one of the things that's great about this is you can come back and it's date and time stamped. So if you were working August 1st on that Beacon Falls search for your client, you can just go ahead and rerun it. So you don't have to, again, recreate the wheel. It's all here for you. It's just 100 most recent searches. Milford Orange, whatever it was that you were working on, you can just go in here and run it. It's 100 most recent searches. Now, in previous classes, we talked about the Smart Bar holding 100 most recent searches. That is correct. The Smart Bar holds 100 most recent searches of everything. So if you searched agents, you searched a couple offices, you searched MLS numbers and your regular searches, that's all going to be in there. But this is kind of exclusive to your previous searches. And again, even if you did this one by mistake and said, all right, I'm never going to use this this Fairfield one, and you start a new search, it's still going to show over here. It's just going to be a running total, and it'll just drop off as you keep doing searches. And right next to previous searches is save searches. You click on that. You click on that, and that's going to show you all your saved searches. I don't have a lot in here in my training account, but you can see I have an auto email, I have a screener, and I just have a regular search. So that'll all be on this right-hand side for you. It defaults to previous search. And again, you can go scroll through here, and I don't want to cause anybody any headaches here, but I can go all the way down to May 30th. So if you remember at the last day of May there, you were working with someone that was working within 1 mile of Buckingham Place, boom, I can run that email instead of recreating it all in the system for you. So that is pretty much what we wanted to show you here with the basic search. But there's other features here in the search that we want to show for you, such as the map. So, oh, and one other thing, quick, before we segue to map, you can change this designation right here. So let's say you're working on the single family condo for your client, and they reach out to you and said, I'm not comfortable buying yet. Maybe I want to rent. If you just click the drop down here, you can go right to residential rental, and it's going to come up with other subtypes, but your basic information is right in here. So your range, well, your range stayed the same. You're still in Fairfield. You're still in Fairfield County. You're still not looking for mobile homes. So you could change everything on the fly right in here. So if you have a bunch of filters in there, you don't have to start a brand new search. You can just start right from where you have it. All right. Now, we did the basic search type here. Now we're going to come down here to, oh, I'm sorry about that. We're going to come down here to map. So let's say this particular client, 600, 800 range, no mobile home, Fairfield County, and they have a certain requirement. Let's say they're being a little particular about where they want to be in Fairfield County. So if we look at the map here, let's just say that they wanted to be west of Route 8 and under 15 for whatever reason. And we do get requests like this on the phone. They want to be near the train station, or they want to be near the shore. Obviously, that's a big one, the shore. But let's just say for our demonstration here, they want to be west of Route 8. They want to be south of 15. You just want to look at those homes. You don't want to look at all 15 homes. So we're going to come up here to the map, and a couple things we're going to do. Right down here, while searching the map moves, we're going to uncheck that. That might default for you. So we just kind of recommend that you want to keep that off. It kind of causes a little chaos when you're searching the map. So you might want to check that off. Come up here to the top of the map and this little pencil here. We're going to click on that little pencil and it opens up a whole menu here. And you could draw a map with a polygon, a circle, a rectangle. Polygon seems to be extremely popular, so we're going to click on that. And then we're just going to draw our polygon. We're west of Route 8 and we're below, let's say, we'll go all the way down here. We're below 15. We did our polygon, and now we have 5 matches right there. And from this 5 matches, we could come up here at the top, show the list, and now we're just dealing with the 5. You can hide the list, come back this way. Okay, I have my 5. These are exactly where they want, and start working with them. You can also hide the filters, and again, just start working with them just like any other search. So you took your Fairfield, you took your price range, you looked at the map, what they want, and boom, you're right in here where they want to be. I'm going to go back to search. One little FYI is you don't want to use the back browser on your browser because that will mess up your search. And, most of the times it'll wipe it out. So you're going to start from scratch. So we just ask you to use the little search back arrow right here in Connect. That'll bring us back to our search here. Back to our search. And actually, I'm going to come all the way out of the search. I want to start a fresh search here for you. So I'm going to tap search. I want to go back into the map really quick. A couple things we want to show you. Again, this little map moving is clicked. You want to check that off. I'm going to hide my filters because I'm pretty confident with my filters. But one other thing I want to show you here on the map is we have layers. So this little stack of papers here. If we click the layers, we have a whole bunch of different designations. So I'm going to go with, say, high schools and a big popular one, floodplains. I X that off, and you'll see right here as I move the map, it moves with me. You can see the different high schools and the different floodplains. Now with the floodplain, you may want to have to zoom in or zoom out over here on the far side. So I'm gonna zoom in, and now you start getting that flood zone information. So, and as you see, as I move the map, the flood zone will move with me. And that's that little stack of papers right here. So there's a whole bunch of things. You can do school districts, maybe elementary school, whatever's important to your client is right there in the map. All right. And that's pretty much maps on the fly, so to speak. You can really dig deep in the maps, but we just kind of want to introduce it to you. As you start to get more comfortable and get in there, you can really play around with the maps on there. One last thing on the maps, I'm going to take this off just so it's very so it's back to a basic map. Is there different views on the map? So I'm going to zoom up. I'm just going to zoom up here I'm just going to zoom up here and make it look good. If you come down here to the far right bottom, there's like that little black globe there. Right now we're in a road view. That's default. You can go with an aerial view. So if you want to get a better look at the property, and again, you might want to zoom up. You might want to zoom up there. This way you can see the whole plot lines and everything. You can do a hybrid where you'll get the streets in there and the home numbers. But you can also use the default. Usually everyone uses the default road view. Just want to show you some of the different views there. I want to go back to our search. A couple other things we want to show you. Proximity is another great tool. Let's say they say I want to be 5 miles from my work. So you can put in 5. And actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change it to Milford because that's where we are here. So let's say, and Milford is not in Fairfield County, so I'm going to add New Haven County. I'm going to put in Milford. And let's say I want to be 5 miles from work. I want to be 5 miles from 55 Old Gate Lane. And you see, as I started typing, it started to fill in. You may have to, depending on the address, you might have to type more. You might have to type the full address, including the zip code. But most of the times, it will populate automatically here for you. So you just start typing in 55 Old Gate Lane. We're going to click on that. We have our parameters, so we're going to do the same. We're just going to keep the same 600 to 800 Connecticut, New Haven County, Milford. We're 5 miles. And now when we go to view results, you'll see here we have proximity, and we can go through the homes here and see exactly how far they are and go from there.